I'm a good dog, and I just want to go home. When you buy Pedigree, we make a donation to help dogs like Oliver find loving homes.
So that's the little critter that was on the picture. That's Oliver. And it's interesting, even your agency partners, challenge your agency partners to drink the Kool-Aid, to walk the whole 9 yards with you. Because if your agency partner doesn't fully support this thing, it won't work. So we told ourselves, every time we do an adoption ad, we go to that shelter where we shoot it, and all our employees take care that every dog gets adopted. And by the way, we use Twitter for that today, and it works really, really good. So it's a good site on Twitter. So, and everybody adopts those dogs, they get out, and then we crowdsource the next ad by giving the person who adopted Oliver a camera and shoot their own ad and put it on air.
This is Oliver. This was his lucky day. And this is him now. When you buy Pedigree, you help more dogs like Oliver find loving homes. The Pedigree Adoption Drive. Thanks for helping us help dogs.
So there's always, even advertising can create that dialogue when you kind of use that one dog to promote your cause, but then make sure that you follow up with it and really make sure people understand that you're serious about what you're doing. And so far, social media is not even involved. So there's more ads. It's all on the thingy when you download it, and then that's kind of the rhythm. We always have a big adoption. We adopt them, and then someone gets them, and we make an ad about it. It kind of works with sales, which is good. But the mistake would be to see it just as a sales promotion that gives me those nice spikes even in a recession climate. So you would piss off the influencers because if they see too much commercial intent behind your cause, you know, they're like, no, we don't like that. So we went to the influencers. This is a picture of Westminster. Well, it's actually the Madison Square Garden, but in there, the Westminster Kennel Club has its annual meeting, which is the biggest purebred dog show in the world. If you're ever in New York and the Kennel Club is around, treat yourself with it. It is hilarious. There's a movie called Best in Show. Watch it. It's really funny. It's really about purebred dogs. They're really proud of it, and it's a very, very important influencer theme. And originally, Pedigree supported the purebred dogs in terms of great, well-done breeders. But twisting it to an adoption message was a little bit tough because, you know, it was not necessarily the agenda of the breeders because they want to sell dogs, they don't want to adopt dogs. But then we worked with them so long that they, as true dog lovers, got behind this whole idea of help us help dogs, and they jumped on the train, and then year after year we expanded the ideas around the Westminster Kennel Club to even board the influencers that are actually completely against adoption. So it is complicated, but it really pays off because now all of a sudden you have a huge telethon at that show. So per night we raise up to $500,000 that goes straight into shelters. So what else happened to make it even more credible is the whole idea of actually making it a non-profit business model. Because if the money goes to some marketing department, and in this transparent society, people would be like, hold on, that doesn't work. So actually we developed with Mars the Adoption Foundation, the Pedigree Foundation, that now sits in their Nashville office. It's 3 full-time employees managing the fund. And we have a yearly donation income between $1.5 and $2 million. So it's becoming really serious. They've got an annual report. You can tax deduct your donations. It's all clean and fine. And obviously, that's the point where you start to integrate social media, because just after we had that done, the full credibility of the system and the adoption drive itself, then we started to be on Facebook. Because we were asking ourselves, really, what do you want to talk about with these people on Facebook before you've got a real story? Don't do it. I mean, dog food, seriously, it smells horrible, it looks like poo. And the only message that this industry is able to pump out every year, new and approved. If you guys heard Eddie Izzard, it's a great comedian, he's got a brilliant sketch about new and approved dog food. It's new and approved, oh really, what is it? I mean, it doesn't really work. So you don't have a story, build a story first, or a credible foundation, and then start telling your story in social media. Also, don't be afraid to break your consistency in a way. Try to, if you've got a cause and you can support it, try to invest into it. So then Mars came to us and said they always buy one Super Bowl spot per year. We had funny Snickers stuff and we have a lot of funny ads. So we said, okay, let's use the Super Bowl event for the adoption cause and do an adoption ad. So we did focus groups, we got them all, the Super Bowl dudes together, and they were all drinking, and we're showing them the adoption ads. And they're like, dude, that is so fucking sad. I don't want to see that during Super Bowl. We're in a recession. That's the only day of the year where I really get together with all my friends and get really drunk. Don't give me the tears, please. So we hear you. That's completely reasonable. So we tweaked the tone of the adoption drive just a little bit.
Come on, Rusty. Come on, let's go for a walk. Rusty!
Morning, Mrs. Lawrence. You have a kid.
Bruno, come back here! Bruno, you bad, bad bird!
How you guys doing back there?
How do you think we're doing?
He's into it.
Maybe you should get a dog. The Pedigree Adoption Drive. Help us help.
So that was our first, basically the first dog food commercial that ever made it in the Super Bowl so far, and it was great fun to do it. We actually had a real rhino. That's no CGI. That thing is real. So it's called Rusty, and then again, you know, it's not just a TV ad. Just use TV to set a spark, because it's not going to go away, and it's still a good medium to get a lot of awareness for something that people are particularly interested in. So, and this was obviously connected to a bigger circle of stuff that really helped dogs. For example, we used incentives to get them online and watch the film, and we had a huge making of and all that kind of stuff around it. So every time we incentivize them, or every time you click on it, we donate a bowl of food to the foundation and the shelters, and so on and so forth. There's a whole circle. And it was also interesting to discuss with Mars, who's very, very traditional marketers. I love those guys to death because they're a family company. They're not like, you know, stock market freaks, but they're really good people, like good-hearted, like not those typical management guys, but they really want to do good. But they're very research-focused and stuff. So we came to the metrics conversation as well, and really, they're like, okay, how do we get that through an Ipsos pretest? Let's not think about that. Let's think about what we want to do. So in the metrics, and that's also interesting, define your metrics by what you really want to achieve. And if at the end, if you want to help more dogs, one of your metrics is how many bowls of food you bring to shelters. So just an ad view was in the sense of we bring more food to the shelters. So we had a lot of, and we did another trick. We just launched the ad online in this interweb thing before the Super Bowl. Nobody had ever done that. So we generated a lot of buzz. In the end, 2.2 million total bowls of food were donated to shelter dogs. We kind of made it in the top 10 of Super Bowl ads and some other stuff. But really those 2.2 million bowls of food, that was our kind of biggest success. And it's interesting how you rally a company behind something that is more than just some artificial little benefits coming out of, I don't know, omega-3. So now we got to a point where we're so confident about our story and about the truth behind it and everything that we really use, at the moment, Facebook a lot. And we had it's a learning walk, you know. Every of those kind of social media gurus, and I love this little film that was played this morning, comes in, I've got the solution. You're like, fuck you, you don't have it. No one has it. There are too many moving parts around so that anyone could come into your business and tell you they cracked it. You're on crack, man. You didn't crack anything here. It's a learning process, and we had little failures. I mean, you do that all the time. You start to find your vibe of answering those people. Having a community, by the way, this whole thing of managing it is really interesting. And we got over, actually to Edelman, and some of the guys from Edelman, who are the PR partner that we work with, are now assigned and budgeted to actually answer those comments. So every time someone, I don't know, posts a picture of the dog, they get complimented for it. They donate money, they get thanked for it. And if the conversation goes on, it gets kept up. So people are really engaged and really involved. So that is how we use it at the moment. It's like baby steps. We're about to use Twitter as well. But not to just talk about us, actually.